Here's another one of Nikki Page's flies. Piece of running line tied off to a tripod, and it's just swinging in the water.
I'm going to come in here and I'm just going to basically blow this fly to pieces.
I could probably catch a fish with this. I just dropped it in the water, let it swim a little bit.
Bring the thread right back to the same position. Make sure that's all nice and centered. Flip that back over. And everything is progressing beautifully. Now, this last point of tie-in, instead of, I mean, we can do one of two things. You can continue and finish it on just tying the way we did, but I actually like to do this part hollow style. Just gives it a bit of a larger profile. So the first thing I'm going to do is take some Peacock Herl, and I'm going to take quite a batch. 15 maybe fibers, and what you want to do is you want to measure. Kind of taper it. You don't want it to be completely flush. Just doesn't look as well on the fly. But you want it to come to right about there. That looks pretty good. So you'll trim that off. Touch a head cement. And you're going to turn this around and you're going to tie it facing out this way. So I'll show you what hollow tie is here in a second. So we give that a couple loose wraps right behind the eye. That's not going anywhere. And now we can carry on with our final part of our wing. So we're going to use olive bucktail. Cut off a piece for this. Prepare it the exact same way. You'll find once you start tying these flies that it's very repetitive, very redundant with the way they're tied. Drop of cement. Lay that right on top. 1-2 wraps, make sure it's in place, make sure everything is nice and snug where you want it, and then a couple more wraps to hold it. I'm not interested in cinching it down so much right this second. Finish off with our final piece of white for the belly. Now set that right on the underside, and 1-2 loose wraps. And I don't know if you can see this, but I'm really tying right behind the eye of the hook. If you can see, right there's the eye. My thread wraps are right here. So I have enough wraps to hold this down. I want to come through and make sure that these pieces here, what I'm trimming, is they stop before they hit this wing. It just cuts down on the bulk. What I'll do at this point is just come through with a bit of head cement. And now I can, in nice wide open turns so you don't put as much pressure on the thread, so you're less likely to break it. You can cinch that down. That's pretty good there. Now what I like to do is come back to the angel hair again, and I just break off small pieces, and I just loosely, really haphazardly, just dub this on here. It doesn't need to be perfect by any means. And wrap it forward. And I like to cover up the thread wraps. And because we're tying with mono, it doesn't matter if you run your thread through this, you won't see it. Now you can do this one of two ways. If you have a pen, you can push everything back. I can see that my Peacock Herl is right here, so I can grab this Peacock Herl and I can come in here and separate the white just like that, and I can pull these apart. So I'm just going to do it that way. I hope you can see how I did that. And I'm going to push the white down for the belly section. There's a straggler piece. Just cut that off. Now, just kind of want to press this head together, pull the belly together. Just make sure everything has a nice shape to it. And because it's hollow tied, I mean, it's pretty durable. So you can kind of cinch down on this stuff pretty hard. It's not completely indestructible, but it's pretty good. Now what you want to do at this point is you want to build a dam of thread right in front of the material. What you don't want to do is you don't want to run your thread up on the material, because that'll force everything back down. And if you're going to do that, you're further ahead just to complete the fly standard Deciever style. So once you get a nice cone shape here, and you'll see that's really what you're looking for. That's the shape right there. I like to do 2 whip finishes, especially with mono, because if mono breaks on you, it just, you know, flies apart. First thing we want to do at this point is you want to take a cat brush, and you want to, see if I can do it this way. You want to just kind of push your hand on it. You want to brush it. Okay, brush it all back this way. Now here's the test to see how good your tying is. I'm going to come in here and I'm just going to basically blow this fly to pieces with this brush. This is a really good test to see how your tying is. If your bucktail fibers start flying out everywhere, you're going to need to work on how well you're tying this material down. What this is doing is those bird's nests of angel hair, it forces them out all through the fibers. So now I'm going to brush it all back. So when this thing is in the water, you're going to get sparkling action through the whole fly, and it's great because it simulates scales much better. Now, second thing I'm going to do, and if your peacock kind of curls on you, don't even stress about it, because as soon as it hits the water, it's all going to go back. Now, I'm going to take a black Sharpie marker, and I'm going to paint the top side of the head so it matches the wing. And then I am going to just run it right up, just to give it a bit of black, and I'm going to start to stripe it. I have friends, acquaintances, customers that fish these without eyes. It's fine. It's up to you. I like to put mine on like Enrico Puglisi puts his on. And the way he does that is with a cauterizer. So what you want to do is come right where you're going to put it in. You want to turn your cauterizer on and allow it to sink down in till you hit the hook shank. And then kind of make a divot. Now this material will cauterize there and it won't fall off. It's just laying there, so I wouldn't suggest grabbing the material and stroking it, because you will pull it off, but until you get this eye into position, be perfectly fine. You can use Zap Goo. Come right in here and squeeze out. I put it right in the hole so it fills up, and allow it to come right out over top. 3D Epoxy Eyes. I pinch the wing, and I grab the eyes, a little bit in the front, a little bit in the back, and I squeeze them together. I am all about durability with my flies. That's it. Fantastic fly. Anything that eats fish will like this fly. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you learned something, and thank you very much.